Dr. Finney, and support the Illinois Low Carbon Portfolio Standard at nuclearpowersillinois.com.
I'm Jerome Butler, a retired lawyer and former Assistant Secretary of the Illinois Department of Human Services.
I'm Brenda Perry, a community activist and Colin Powell Republican.
I'm Rudolph Monroe, an actor and ventriloquist.
Together, we are the Thinkers.
Live on Sunday, we bring to you unscripted conversations noon to 1 p.m. Central Time.
So open your mind to what's really going on, from news and sports
to politics and entertainment. We give you unscripted opinion on what is relevant today.
So join us for Unscripted Conversations.
Ask not what you can do for Urban Broadcast Media, but what can Urban Broadcast Media do for you? Now back to the conversation on UBM Talk.
Hey, we back. He is my. All right, y'all. We got to get back. We need all the time. We got all the time. We need it all. Jason Black, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I got the caller that called in. B.
Hold on. Let me real quickly get B. What up, B? What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Africa?
How you feeling, man?
Cass and the rest of the guests.
Yes, sir. Good word, you got a question or a comment?
I just wanted to say I appreciate what you all are doing in terms of spreading this information, especially in regards to what's going on economically for us. I think that's important.
Yep.
Yeah. My man was.
Whoopsies. Listen, y'all. Okay, I'm getting used to these telephone boards. And John just told me that I can have both people online, and I guess I'm supposed to do it a certain way.
You still finding your way around it.
So he just called back, and if Jason Black, I think we lost you, if you can give us a call back as well. All right, B, go ahead. Go back in.
Why are you hanging up on me?
I'm sorry. I don't mean it.
Mean no harm. Go ahead, B. Because you're doing some wonderful things, too.
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate that. But I think I was saying in reference to Dallas, that's my next home. My pivot foot is always going to be in Chicago in terms of trying to do for the youth here, but I think it's extremely important not only to inform these adults, but to let these kids know what's coming, because they're clueless.
Yeah.
And, it's funny you all mentioned how the taxes are going to go up.
Yeah.
A lot of our kids are, crazily undereducated, and are not going to be making no more than 50 or 60 at the most, and that's a blessing, but they're not going to be able to afford to live in this city. Right. And they need to know what's going on and what they need to do to shore themselves up.
Yeah, because it's definitely going down, and it's not
worse than that.
Yeah.
You will be unable to tread. What we're trying to do right now as black people is we're trying to tread water. And we've been trying to tread water for 150 years, and that will not work.
Right.
Did you know that there is no property in the entire zip code for Los Angeles that you can afford if you're making less than $14 an hour?
Really?
Wow.
They've just raised they just voted to raise the minimum wage in L.A. to, I believe it is $15 an hour.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's not what that tells you is that you are in dire trouble.
Yeah.
And you're going to see that in other places, but what that tells you is you are in dire trouble, because as the minimum wage goes up, what's going to happen to the cost of structures? It's going to be a dog chasing its tail. The problem is not that you do not make a big enough paycheck. The problem is that someone else controls your income.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And if you refuse to take issue with that and grapple and take hold of that, nothing else happens. Now, the caller just said something about these kids out here. These kids out here are helpless right now. And the reason is because wealth is generational. We all understand that. Well, guess what? So is poverty.
Yep.
Yeah.
You pass down poverty just like you pass down wealth.
Yep.
And guess what? Black people are perfected. Where's our wealth?
Right.
Come on.
Our wealth is with, no offense to anybody what I'm about to say, but our wealth is with Eddie Long, Creflo Dollar, TDJ.
Yeah.
Put it in the basket.
There went your money right there. Yeah. When you go into white neighborhoods, what do you see? Businesses. When you go to Asian neighborhoods, what do you see? Businesses.
Yeah.
When you go to black neighborhoods, what do you see?
Churches.
And liquor stores and gyros.
Man, I swear.
So
I mean,
what do we have to show for all these churches?
Nothing.
That's my question. What do we have to show for all of that?
That's my question,
religious
too.
church building.
Yeah.
That's what we are investing in because we think we're going to get a return on investment.
Right.
Yep.
And it doesn't
Well,
happen.
you build this church, pray to God, money will come.
Yep.
There are no other group of people on the planet who have that methodology.
Yep.
And churches
Their
are
methodology is build a
501c3,
business,
so there's no
work and
excuse. There's
invest,
no
and it will
excuse.
come.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are some of the solutions that you have for our people?
Okay. People always say that kind of word. There's solutions. In this company here, you all are good people, so I know why you're saying that.
Yeah,
Don't get us up.
Because I know you goes in and hard.
I
Okay,
didn't
we
know
gonna
that.
do it. We gonna do it. I'm doing later.
nice
Go
to
ahead.
us.
Solutions, because I'm like, if you can tell me what the problem is, you know what the solution is. It's just like my hand is
Okay.
on a hot stove. What's
Yeah,
the solution?
absolutely.
You know the
Absolutely.
Just sit there and
result
keep
of
getting
that.
30-degree burns. Just stay right there.
Yeah.
You know, I can't get to work. Did you leave the couch? No. Well, just lay right there. See if you get there later. So,
Right.
what is the solution? The solution is first and foremost, do you understand that it is about economics? It's about the money.
Yep. First.
If you don't understand and accept that, if there's some fight going on in you, if there's some internal conflict where you are fighting with, well, my mama said, pray, and everything gonna be all right from there,
Right.
without ever being able to define what everything gonna be all right means,
Yeah.
then
Come
you're
on.
in trouble. You can't help yourself. You sure can't help us. So first of all, money is the issue. There is no more argument. Stop the insanity. Money is the issue. Number two, what do you do about it? In my documentary, 7 a.m., and for your listeners who may not be aware, they can go to our website, 7ammovie.com, and purchase it there. That's 7ammovie.com. And they can see Dr. Claude Anderson said
Yes.
that in order to build an economy, you must, well, in order to have a community, because we don't have black communities, you must have three things. You must have an economy, you must have a code of conduct,
Yep.
and you must have politicians who respect and obey your needs.
Yes.
And as black people, we do not have that.
'Cause they're
So
our
the second
servants.
thing is that we must have an
right.
economy. That means businesses.
Yep.
That means that we are responsible for taking the earth's resources, cultivating them, and using them for our own benefit.
Okay.
That is what making an
Yeah.
economy means, period.
Yep.
Taking the earth's resources, and that includes your intellectual properties, and leveraging them for your own benefit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Not going to somebody else's and being the worker who helps them to leverage it for
Right.
their benefit.
Right.
You leverage it for yours.
Right.
That's how you build an economy.
Right.
Number two, you must have a code of conduct.
Yep.
Now, what does that really mean? A code of conduct means we all understand what's in our best interests, and everybody is held to that. Black folk in Chicago are completely lacking of a code of conduct.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
You got 1 million black people, which means that you got 1 million different self-interest groups.
Yep.
Tell me how that's working out when the police roll up. Everybody has got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And it must be mandatory.
Yep.
There can be no argument about this. Because, you see, if you live in Los Angeles, if you live in Texas, if you live in Miami, I wish you would be a Cuban in Miami who walks past a Cuban restaurant to go shop and eat
Come
at a
on.
black restaurant.
That don't even make
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Come on.
That'd be a
No,
violation.
that's real.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish you would try. Now, you all live in Chicago, and you've got a sizable Latino population there, too. You've also got a sizable Russian population, and you always have. It's been a long-term thing there. I wish a Russian would walk past the Russian restaurant to the soul food
Right.
restaurant. I wish they would. They might get away with that once. I wish he'd try that 2
Yeah.
days in a row.
Yeah.
Because, you see, his people will check him.
Right.
In Miami, for the Latinos, her people will check her. Her people will do that and
That's
say,
right.
hey, you're off code.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're off code.
This isn't what we
don't
do.
that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
They
right.
won't argue with you about integration.
Oh,
They
yeah.
won't argue with you about loving everybody.
Right.
They will let you know you are off code. And I talked to Tariq Nasheed, and he has said that if you try that in L.A., you'll catch a brick upside the
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the situation is all the way real. In black society, everybody's freestyling.
Yeah.
And because of that, everybody who comes in our neighborhoods knows that. They know that I can buy off this Negro over here,
Yep.
and everything's okay. And that's what you just mentioned about Jesse Jackson and their ilk. What it really shows you is that con men of a feather fly together. Just got to watch that whole family at this point. But then again, over there in Detroit with the Conyers, you got to watch them too. So, but that's what we cultivate.
Yeah.
Where are we to check them?
Yeah.
We should have checked Jesse 4 decades ago. We didn't do it. Now you got his son, wife, cousins, everybody else. Why shouldn't they? Where is the enforcement apparatus?
Yeah, right.
Well, let's tell them about everybody can have their own code of conduct. No, you cannot.
Right.
Everybody cannot do it their own way.
Yeah.
And lastly, as politicians, to respect and obey your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't have any money, you can't buy any politicians.
Right.
Yes.
And even if you do vote for them, you can't control them.
Exactly.
Because ultimately,
Or
you
hold
got to
them
go negotiate
accountable.
with people who do have money.
Right.
And so we are
The
the people
mayor.
who come to the table with nothing and then complain that the politicians neither respect nor obey our
Governor.
needs.
Yeah.
Black folk have given nothing to Jesse Jackson Jr. We gave nothing to Barack Obama but our vote.
Yep.
Right.
And we refused to attach even
was a
our
lie.
vote to demands.
Yeah.
We just said, well, you like us, we'll just trust and pray and
Right.
believe
Things to be
that you're going
different.
to take care of us.
Right.
And today, the Supreme Court has passed a ruling protecting gay marriage.
Right.
Now, isn't that ironic? The same Supreme Court that just told you here a few years ago that we gutted the Voting Rights Act, gutted affirmative action, and the police can do as they please.
Right.
Yep.
Now, that same Supreme Court that Obama told us, I can't do nothing with them. Oh, well.
Right.
All of a sudden, he's able to get this Supreme Court
Right.
to bag gay marriage.
So
All of
wait
a
a minute.
sudden.
Wait a minute. That means that we know that he can also give Mumia Abu-Jamal a pardon.
Oh, no. He can't do that. Hands are tied. Can't help Marcus Garvey.
I'm just saying, if you doing the shit for, listen, if you doing that, then you can do.
His hands are tied, though. His hands are tied, Africa. You can't do
Yeah,
it.
his hands are
This
tied.
is last term. He got how many days left?
But-
Go
but-
out with a bang.
But his hands are tied, though. I mean, how you gonna go out with a bang when you don't
But
care?
see, the thing is, though, for him, I was looking for, like, okay, maybe he got some stuff up his sleeve. It's going to be the last year I'm going to do what I want. But you got to be willing to put your life on the line for that.
But see, here's a
doubt
backstory. Here's a
that's the
backstory.
case.
We grew up. I grew up in the same neighborhood with the president. Okay, so the meetings at the Hyde Park Neighborhood Club for the death penalty, he was there every Friday, once a month. So it's not that he doesn't know. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying
Wait
as a
a-
general
let me ask you about
him being
that.
the number
Let me
one
ask
man of
you
the
about
world. I'm saying he was
You-
at those
You said that
meetings
you grew up in
early
the same
on.
neighborhood president. What does that mean?
That means that he was at those early meetings. He knows about
year?
Mumia's case. I'm talking
No,
about from
what
the
year?
early 90s
Early
to the
90s.
time that he moved to Washington, D.C. He was at those meetings. It's recorded.
Okay.
So it's
now,
no
here's the
excuse.
thing-
We can't say he
here's the
doesn't
thing I wanna
know.
ask you about that, okay?
Go ahead.
How much vetting of Barack Obama did black people do before we started backing him?
No.
Obviously
'Cause I
not
wasn't even
enough.
aware that he was even active like that in the 90s in
Oh,
Chicago.
yes. Oh,
so I guess I
yes.
missed a few things. But here's my real question. How much vetting of him, how many black people that he, from the ages of 30, did this man know? Where are his black friends? Because all I see is a bunch of white people around him. I've never seen him with any black friends.
He has
Just
plenty
like
of
you talk
black
about
friends,
girls-
and I do know that his wife is one of the board members for
Now,
Montu
his
Dance
wife,
Theater.
his wife got plenty of black folk. And
Well,
plenty
she
of
grew
black
up in
support.
South Shore.
Yeah, but him, I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
Because he's been using her as a camouflage now
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I want to know what you
'Cause she has more of a
brought, 'cause
base.
I can see
Yeah.
Michelle. I want to know about, but she's not the one I'm voting for.
Right.
I want to know about you because you hide behind her very well because before you got Michelle, the first black woman you ever dated was the last one you dated,
Ooh.
which is Michelle. And we all don't like to bring that up. Is by the way,
Yeah, we don't
all
like to
his
talk about that.
Previous
He said
dealings
the
were
first one
non-black
was the
females.
last.
And we don't like to talk about that.
Nope.
But that kind of telegraphed to you what you were about to get. A man with no connections and
Cassie's
no
under the
roots to
table.
black people, but we voted praying and believing.
Yep.
And
No,
I
you're
certainly
right,
hope
you're
that
right.
our butts have gotten beaten badly enough in the last 7-8 years that we show that this guy will sit right next to you and not give a damn about you. I hope we got beat bad enough that we don't repeat that.
That's
Although,
right.
unfortunately, from what I'm seeing out there, this beating may not have been bad enough.
Go ahead, Brother
Excuse me.
Enoch. Yeah.
I just got a comment. It's Brother Enoch from Hip Hop Detox. And something that you said earlier when you mentioned Dr. Claude Anderson, I want to bring it back up just to bring to our attention. Everybody here probably, you're familiar with the 3D printers, correct? Everybody in the room? I remember 3 or 4 years ago when we first started seeing the 3D printers, and we were just discussing, if we're seeing 3D printers now, then more than likely probably had them for about what, you think, 10, 15, 20 years
Probably
maybe?
30, 40, yeah.
And we're just seeing them 3-4 years ago, in existence. What you said during the portion of the solutions conversation, I think is the most important conversation that we not only have to have, in terms of talking about it, but behind closed doors and it's like, I know this is a process. I know you had mentioned treading water. We've been doing that for over 150 years, you were saying, correct?
Yes.
I really want to see how we can find more and more ways of going beyond that, because I remember speaking to Dr. Claude Anderson, and I remember when he was talking about what he had in mind of doing Detroit, and then all the different isms that came up and crap that came up in terms of the brilliant idea he had to do work in Detroit. And I know that with money, you have currency. It's electrical energy. If we want to just go there for a moment, it seemed like the biggest obstacle that we always face